People get themselves in trouble because of attitudes. Your attitude determines your altitude. I find people, they just don't understand what happens in life. It's amazing how the leaders in society, the leaders in churches, the leaders in politics, are always the wrong people. And when it gets to being the wrong people, you've got trouble. All around the world, we've got trouble. And society is only made better by each individual. You can only win people one at a time. And things change in society one at a time. And we need to face the fact you've got to change the heart, life, ambitions, desires, and you've got to change them one at a time. Individuals, they've got to be converted. And I'd like to start with referring you back to Judges chapter 9. If you turn in your Bible, good authorized version, to Judges there's a little parable that I've mentioned before in Judges 9, verse 8. It says this: "The trees went forth on a time to anoint a king over them. And they said unto the olive tree, Reign over us. But the olive tree said unto them, Should I leave my fatness, wherewith by me they honour God and man, and go to be promoted over the trees? And the trees said to the fig tree, Come thou, reign over us. But the fig tree said unto them, Should I forsake my sweetness and my good fruit, and go to be promoted over the trees? Then said the trees unto the vine, Come thou and reign over us. And the vine said unto them, Should I leave my wine, which cheereth God and man, and go to be promoted over the trees? Then said all the trees unto the bramble, Come thou, reign over us. And the bramble said unto the trees, If in truth you anoint me king over you, then come and put your trust in my shadow. And if not, let fire come out of the bramble and devour the cedars of Lebanon. You know, the most prickly people end up in kind of leadership. It's dangerous when you follow someone who's prickly. A bramble doesn't have much shadow. Think about it, a bramble tree. It is just thorny. It doesn't have any shadow. Now you could get under a fig tree, you can get under a vine, get under a bramble bush, and all you get is wounded. And people control people with words, thoughts, attitudes, and it's a dangerous thing. And it's amazing how bad attitudes destroy. There is no shade from the heat of the day under a bramble bush. All you'll get is a very uncomfortable seat. And if you stand up, it's going to hurt you. Get near it, it's going to wound you. And yet, the parable was put forth so people could understand that usually when you go around, the people that have influence and the people that have opinion are usually the brambly people. You go into a workplace and you usually find it's the barrack room lawyers, as they call them, that moan all the time. You know, they can tell you how the business should be run. They've never run it. They've never built anything in life, but they can tell you how to run it. It's amazing, as a pastor, I can guarantee there's more people that know how to run this church than I do. You know, someone who does nothing, the only way he can lift himself up is to criticize someone who's done it. And that's the way it goes. And if you're in charge of anything, and God gives you a gift, you find that there's always people who know better. And sometimes it's strange. But, you know, God's answers aren't man's answers. I find too many Christians are too religious. and they think they've got an answer, and God's answer is totally different. Let me give you an example of how different it can be. And Alan Arnold, come here. Pick on Alan Arnold, see? Now, Alan had a particular problem, and he wanted an answer. Now, the answer might be something that will surprise you. But if you come and you ask a question, you're walking very slowly up here, but you had a problem with sleep.
My problem was lack of sleep, yeah, for about 7 months. And I went to see Michael about two months ago, and he gave me some simple advice, and I didn't sleep last night at all, but other than that, I've been sleeping very well since. And the simple advice was to watch comedy programs if you can't sleep. And I'd read lots of articles and spoken to lots of people and read books and read tapes, and no one mentioned to watch comedy programs. In fact, they advised not to watch TV, but it worked for me.
It cured you completely?
It did, 95%. Yeah.
95%. And you know what it was? Just watch Laurel and Hardy DVDs. Get some and videos and watch them. And no other book has ever suggested that.
No, I've read a lot of books. I was desperate. Some nights I didn't sleep. Well, I was averaging 4 hours sleep for 7 months, and that's with sleeping tablets as well. So I was just a zombie.
But Laurel and Hardy sent you to sleep?
Laurel and Hardy and Rising Damp.
Rising Damp. Now, you say, hey, but a Christian, you know, fancy a pastor telling someone to watch comedy. But you know, it's amazing how people destroy themselves by being miserable. It's a gift some people have. And you know, laughter, it says in the Bible, in Proverbs, it's medicine for the soul. And lots of people have forgotten how to laugh. Isn't that right?
Absolutely, yeah.
But you laugh at Rising Damp.
Yeah, I watched 5 episodes last night. It did work.
Couldn't have been good episodes. Okay. But you say, well, why would you say do this? Nothing to do with, you know, anything else than changing someone's thinking pattern. You know, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And a lot of people are hurt. First of all, I find that if someone's in a mess, the first thing they'll do is mess up other people. And it's amazing how they gravitate towards each other, and they all begin to mess up each other, and they get very thorny. And you can't get comfort, you can't get shelter from the heat of problems by going to someone who's as messed up as you are. You need to find someone who's got life. And the strange thing is that when you get people who shouldn't ever lead anyone, they will ignore what is true where the fruit is, the olive tree.